My name is Frances Abbracciamento. I live at 102 Beach 221st Street in Breezy Point, and I've been here since 1982 in this home. I came to Breezy Point in 1962. We wanted a nice place for our children to enjoy their summer, and two of my daughters were going to school with children from this community. So my husband and I decided to buy a home so we can have our children spend their summers at the beach. Well, we enjoyed the summers, we enjoyed the beach, we enjoyed our neighbors, we enjoyed being here, and then I was asked by the co-op to open up a restaurant in Kennedy's for the summers. They were not opened year-round, just the summers.
So you were asked to actually take over Kennedy's and run it
I was
as a
interviewed
restaurant?
first. They interviewed a few people, and they selected me.
And what did they want you to do with the restaurant?
Well, make it a first-class restaurant where it would enhance all forms of dining. In the beginning, they wanted to make it an exclusive dining club, and it didn't work out that well.
Why didn't it work out?
Well, we were beach people. People didn't want to get dressed to come out for dinner. They wanted to come in their shorts and shirts, which I encouraged. But one or two of the members thought they were going to make it an exclusive. They had to come in with jackets. They made an exclusive club. They had to belong to it. And if they didn't have a card, they couldn't come in. But that all changed in the second year.
And what happened? Describe the restaurant for us.
The restaurant was successful. People loved the food. It was predominantly an Italian menu with steaks and everything else. We had this exclusive seafood, and we did quite well with that. The second year, they lowered the standards, and anybody could come in with shorts and dresses that way they pleased, which made it more comfortable for everybody. We had wonderful clientele. Everybody came, made it a very special place to exercise their birthdays and holidays, and it was very, very, very enjoyable. On Thursdays, I had over 30, and we had dancing for the over 30. But on the weekends, it was all kids, and there would be a lot of beer drinking, of course. Breezy Point is known for that.
Yes.
And at one time, we were told that we had the highest amount of Heineken beer in all of Queens.
What type of programs did you have? Dances? Did you have?
We had
music?
dances on Thursdays. On Saturday, we had a band. We had live bands. In fact, a lot of local people had bands, and we hired them. And it was very enjoyable. People were very well behaved. Of course, we had to have some people that guard the doors to make sure that everybody behaved. We ran a very, very tight ship, and it was very successful. And the co-op was very pleased, and we did quite well. I enjoyed it. We had a lot of good staff. We closed the restaurant at 11 o'clock so that it was divided in two sections. The dining, we didn't have music in the dining, but we had it in the other part of the restaurant, which was closed off, and it was really just a bar.
Right.
The dining room was on one side only.
Okay. Who did you deal with in the cooperative at the time? Who was?
We had Joe Sten, who was the finest gentleman I ever met in my life.
Yeah.
We had John Carroll, who was another fine attorney, and he was very interested in making things happen well. And there was a whole group of other people that were on the board that were very, very well known and very well liked and very successful and very true to Breezy Point. Very dedicated people. I worked with really a whole bunch of beautiful, wonderful people. It was a pleasure and an honor to work with them.
And what was the first year that you ran the restaurant?
I think it was 70.
I just had.
And you stay. And how many years did you
3
run the
years,
restaurant?
3 summers.
Okay. And you make many changes in the
Oh,
restaurant?
yeah, we made a lot of changes.
Any structural changes to the building?
Yes, yes. My son designed it. My son John Frank is an engineer, and he helped design it. And we had all glass facing the ocean, and we bought all the new furniture. They bought the co-op outfitted the whole kitchen. Everything was brand new. And I had excellent chefs, and I had a good staff. We employed a lot of the boys and girls from here, from Breezy Point. And it was difficult to get people to come out here because of the transportation. But we managed to get a lot of local help. They did it.
They did.
The co-op did,
And
yeah.
what did they change the name to?
Bay Terrace.
Bay Terrace.
Bay Terrace Dining Club. That's
I had Christmas in July, and we had a motif of Christmas. And the Labor Day, we made a New Year's Eve in Breezy. We changed the whole motif. We always had different parties, and we specialized in birthdays for the people who wanted birthday parties. We had a couple of weddings. We had a couple of children's parties. We had every Saturday we had children at the beach, and we gave them hot dogs and French fries. A lot of my political friends, I was very much involved in Mario Biaggi came, A. Beam.
oh yeah, he was yeah.
I forgot now who else came. The borough president from Queens.
Mass?
Yeah, a lot of my political friends, Meade Esposito would become Shirley Chisholm, Bill Isaac,
Okay.
Geraldine Ferrara and her family.
Very nice.
They all came down. And my dearest friend was Shirley Chisholm.
Oh,
We traveled together.
Oh,
very
okay.
nice. So when you say you travel together, what
Well, we'd go on different, we were guests of the ACIM, AARP. We went to California. We went to Texas. And we even took a trip to Japan.
Oh,
And you were her friend through politics, or how did you meet Shirley Chisholm?
Through politics, yes.
Okay. Were you involved in her run for president?
Yes, I was.
Or did you? What did you do for her?
I was a campaign manager in Brooklyn.
Oh, very nice. Okay. So what made you give up Kennedy's? Why did you stop running Kennedy's?
I was too involved. We had to run. I had my restaurant. I had grandchildren by that time. I was going to be involved with another project that we had in Manhattan, which we still have.
A restaurant or?
No, we do catering for the Explorers Club.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
We were exclusive caterers for them for 20 years. My son Frank runs that.
Runs that now. And that's in, you said the Trade Center?
And then I went back. Then I went back to Brooklyn and continued my business there. And I sold it in '77. And I retired in '77.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 103.
And when were you born?
May 9th, 1913,
And where were you born?
in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. What hospital?
At home.
At home. You were born at home. Okay.
Nobody went to hospital. I don't think that. The midwife delivered
Right.
4 kids at the same day as I was born. And one of them became my brother-in-law.
oh, okay.
And where was your family living when you were born?
On Liberty Avenue in Brooklyn.
Liberty. That's in what
No,
section?
we were on Fulton Street.
Fulton Street. Okay.
I remember the address, 2929 Fulton Street. I was born, my father was a bootmaker. And they call them shoemakers now, but he was a bootmaker. And he had a shop there, and I was born in the back of the store. In 1980, I decided that I was going to come and live out here. Overnight, I went to Ruth Clark, who was in charge of the, she's secretary, I think.
Christ Community.
And I
Ruth
said to
Clark
them,
was secretary of the co-op.
yeah, and I knew her well, and she was a lovely, lovely woman. And because they all came to my restaurant on Liberty Avenue, where they were making plans to, it was not a cooperative at the time.
Right.
It became a cooperative, and they used to meet at my restaurant because their office was in Manhattan, in Brooklyn. They didn't have an office. So I don't know how it happened, but they used to meet at the restaurant. And Ruth Clark became very, very dear to me. So I went to her and I said, I want to move to Brooklyn, to Breezy. She said, what have you got open? She showed me one spot, and it was very nice, except that there was a family next door with 12 kids.
Oh, gee, I wouldn't.
I said, no. She says, well, I have one other plot, and it's encumbered by someone who has an interest in it. If they want to give it up, you could have it. Go look at it. And I saw this plot and I wanted it. The people, she asked the people if they were going to build within that year, and they said no. And she asked me if I wanted to build within a year. And spontaneously I said yes. I had no idea of coming in right away.
Oh.
But I wanted this spot here. And there was nobody here anywhere. This was all open. This became on the lottery
Yeah. Oh, the lottery.
after that.
Okay.
Because if I had a choice, I would have taken that lot. One memory was when my son got married, and he brought my first granddaughter to my home. And he walked into the house with this new baby. That was my very, very first granddaughter. And he went to Pelham Walk with his new baby. And I said, welcome to Breezy Point.
Oh, that was
Right.
nice. Yes.
Another incident is when Joe Sten, whom I admired and loved dearly, he came to me one day and he said, I would like to invite you to my birthday party. And he says, and it's a birthday party that is going to be just you, me, my wife, and my 2 children.
Oh.
I thought that was kind of special,
Yes. That
because he
is
was a very,
special.
he was a very close guy.
Yeah, right,
You know,
right.
he wasn't really very. And another man that I admire a lot was Joe Hines. He never passes my door without saying hello to me.
Right.
Is that the former
These are
district attorney?
these are people that make me feel like I'm welcomed as well as I'm welcome them. I feel like a Breezy Pointer. I love the camaraderie. I love the people that make it easy for you to say hello to. There's never a time that people pass by that we don't wave to each other, whether we know each other or not. The people that come to visit me at this age and have a cup of tea with me. The people like Joan, who never forget to be nice and to be cordial and to visit. What is there not to love about Breezy? I live for Breezy, and my children love to come here. This is part of our home, and this is part where I want to die here.
Right.
And I told my son, when he said, Mom, what do you want to do about the house? I said, I want to go back home, and I want to be buried at St. Thomas More. But God doesn't want me yet.